If you found this message, that means that the silent whisper, the echo in the chambers of your mind, the question you dared not voice, has finally found its resonance. It means the veil, thin as it was, has begun to tear. You've felt it, haven't you? The subtle dissonance, the unease that settles like a cold mist around the edges of your perception. The world, so solid, so defined, begins to waver, and you, the supposed anchor of your own existence, find yourself adrift. Imagine waking one day and realizing that the very foundation of your knowing is built on shifting sands. You believe you know yourself, your desires, your fears, your very essence. But what if that self, that I, is nothing more than a carefully constructed illusion, a narrative pieced together from borrowed fragments, from the echoes of societal expectations, from the reflected images in the eyes of others? Consider this. You chase after ambitions, accumulate possessions, seek validation, all in the name of self-fulfillment. Yet, a persistent emptiness gnaws at your core. The more you acquire, the less you feel you possess. The more you achieve, the less you feel you are. It's as if the pursuit of happiness is a labyrinth where each step forward leads you deeper into its disorienting heart. Is it possible that the I you so fiercely defend is not a singular, immutable entity, but a fluid, ever-changing phantom? A reflection in a hall of mirrors, each reflection distorting and fragmenting the original image. You tell yourself you know your heart. Yet, in the quiet solitude of the night, when the clamor of the world recedes, do you truly recognize the stranger that stares back from the depths of your own consciousness? Who is the silent observer behind your eyes? The one who witnesses the triumphs and the failures, the joys and the sorrows. Is it you? Or is it something else? Something beyond the reach of your conscious grasp? You are told that knowledge is power. But what if the greatest power lies not in knowing the world, but in knowing the self? Not the constructed self, the persona you present to the world, but the raw, unfiltered essence that lies beneath. Yet, to look inwards is to confront the void, the unsettling realization that the I you believed in might be a mirage. And what if the very act of seeking external validation is the ultimate betrayal of the self, a surrender of your intrinsic authority to the fickle whims of others? You become a puppet, dancing to the tune of societal approval, a slave to the opinions of those who know you less than you know yourself. Are you brave enough to dismantle the edifice of your constructed identity? To confront the unsettling truth that the I you cling to might be a fabrication? Are you willing to journey into the uncharted territories of your own consciousness, to face the shadows that lurk within? The path ahead is not one of comfort and ease. It is a descent into the depths of your own being, a confrontation with the unknown. But within that darkness, within the silence of your own soul, lies the answer you seek. The answer to the question that has haunted humanity since the dawn of consciousness. Who am I? The journey begins now. Are you ready to step into the abyss, to unravel the enigma of your own existence? The answer, as you will discover, is not found in the external world, but within the deepest recesses of your own mind. And the first step, the most terrifying step, is to acknowledge the possibility that everything you thought you knew about yourself is a lie. That I, as you know it, is a mask, and you must dare to remove it. The true exploration, the true self-discovery, begins when you begin to question the very nature of I am. And that questioning, that confrontation, is where we will proceed next. The hidden problem, the insidious force that perpetuates this illusion of a fractured self, lies in the very nature of our perception. We are taught from the earliest stages of our development, to define ourselves by external markers, our roles, our achievements, our possessions. We are conditioned to seek validation outside ourselves, to measure our worth by the standards of others. This constant external referencing creates a fragmented sense of self, a collection of borrowed identities that we mistake for our true essence. Thales, the ancient sage, understood this profound truth long before the rise of modern psychology. He recognized that the external world, with its myriad distractions and illusions, pulls us away from the fundamental truth of our being. He saw that true knowledge, the kind that unlocks the secrets of existence, begins with self-knowledge. But self-knowledge, he knew, was not a simple matter of introspection. It required a radical shift in perspective, a turning away from the clamor of the world, and a descent into the silent depths of the mind. The problem is, we are creatures of habit. Our brains are wired to seek patterns, to create narratives that make sense of the chaos of experience. We cling to these narratives, even when they no longer serve us, because they provide a sense of stability, a familiar framework within which to operate. We become trapped in a loop of self-reinforcing beliefs, blind to the possibility that our perceptions are distorted, our judgments clouded by unconscious biases. This is the psychological root of our predicament. We are prisoners of our own minds, trapped in a self-constructed reality that we mistake for objective truth. We are like actors on a stage, so immersed in our roles that we forget we are playing a part. The applause of the audience, the approval of the director, becomes our sole measure of success, our only validation of existence. Philosophically, this problem stems from a fundamental misunderstanding of the nature of being. We are taught to believe that we are separate entities, distinct from the world around us. This illusion of separation creates a sense of isolation, a feeling of alienation that fuels our relentless pursuit of external validation. We chase after fleeting pleasures, accumulate material possessions, all in a desperate attempt to fill the void, to bridge the gap between our perceived isolation and the longing for connection. Thales, with his profound understanding of the interconnectedness of all things, saw through this illusion. He understood that the self is not a separate entity, but an integral part of the universe, a ripple in the cosmic ocean. He knew that true fulfillment could only be found by transcending the illusion of separation, by recognizing the unity of all existence. Yet, society reinforces the illusion. From the moment we are born, we are bombarded with messages that tell us who we should be, what we should value, how we should live. We are conditioned to conform, to suppress our individuality, to fit into the predefined molds of societal expectations. We are taught to fear the unknown, to cling to the familiar, to avoid the discomfort of self-discovery. This relentless pressure to conform creates a sense of internal conflict, a dissonance between our true selves and the personas we present to the world. We become divided, fragmented, alienated from our own essence. We wear masks, play roles, hide behind facades, all in a desperate attempt to fit in, to belong. The result is a profound sense of unease, a nagging feeling that something is amiss. We may achieve external success, accumulate wealth, gain social status, but the emptiness persists. The more we chase after external validation, the further we drift from our true selves. This disconnect, this alienation from our own being, creates a deep sense of dissatisfaction, a persistent longing for something more. We are like sleepwalkers, navigating the world in a state of semi-consciousness, driven by unconscious desires and societal conditioning. We are blind to the chains that bind us, unaware of the prison we have built for ourselves. And as long as we remain in this state of unconsciousness, we will continue to chase after illusions, to seek validation in the wrong places, to live lives that are not truly our own. The problem is deep, and the consequences, as we will see, are far more reaching than we realize. The unseen consequences of this fragmented self extend far beyond personal dissatisfaction. They permeate every aspect of our lives, shaping our relationships, our careers, our very perception of reality. We become trapped in a cycle of self-sabotage, driven by unconscious fears and insecurities. We project our own internal conflicts onto others, creating a world of conflict and misunderstanding. Consider the pervasive anxiety that plagues modern society. This anxiety is not merely a reaction to external stressors. It is a manifestation of our internal fragmentation, our alienation from our own being. When we are disconnected from our true selves, we are constantly seeking external validation, constantly fearing the judgment of others. This fear, this relentless need for approval, creates a state of chronic anxiety, a sense of unease that permeates every aspect of our lives. Our relationships suffer. We become incapable of genuine intimacy, unable to connect with others on a deep, authentic level. We wear masks, play roles, hide behind facades, all in a desperate attempt to protect ourselves from vulnerability. We build walls around our hearts, isolating ourselves from the very connection we crave. Our careers become a source of stress and dissatisfaction. We chase after promotions, accumulate wealth, seek external recognition, but the emptiness persists. We measure our success by external standards, neglecting our own intrinsic values and passions. We become trapped in jobs that drain our energy and stifle our creativity, sacrificing our well-being for the illusion of security. Our perception of reality becomes distorted. We see the world through the lens of our own internal conflicts, projecting our fears and insecurities onto others. We become judgmental, critical, and intolerant, unable to see the world with clarity and compassion. We create a world of division and conflict, mirroring our own internal fragmentation. This distortion of perception is amplified by cognitive biases, unconscious patterns of thinking that distort our judgments and perceptions. We are prone to confirmation bias, seeking out information that confirms our existing beliefs and ignoring evidence that contradicts them. We are susceptible to negativity bias, focusing on the negative aspects of our experiences and neglecting the positive. We are victims of the illusion of control, believing we have more control over our lives than we actually do. Neurologically, this fragmentation creates a state of chronic stress, triggering the release of cortisol and other stress hormones. This chronic stress damages our physical and mental health, impairing our cognitive function, weakening our immune system, and increasing our risk of chronic diseases. We become trapped in a cycle of stress and anxiety, unable to break free from the grip of our own internal conflicts. Culturally, we are bombarded with messages that reinforce this fragmentation. Advertising, media, and social media all promote the illusion of the perfect self, the idealized image of success and happiness. We are constantly comparing ourselves to others, measuring our worth by external standards. We become trapped in a cycle of comparison and competition, constantly striving to achieve an unattainable ideal. The result is a society plagued by anxiety, depression, and alienation. We are disconnected from our own beings, disconnected from each other, and disconnected from the natural world. We have lost our sense of purpose, our sense of connection, our sense of belonging. We are adrift in a sea of illusions, searching for meaning in all the wrong places. The unseen consequence is the loss of our authentic selves. We become shadows of our true potential, living lives that are not truly our own. We sacrifice our individuality, our creativity, our passions, all in the name of conformity and acceptance. We become trapped in a self-constructed prison, blind to the possibility of liberation. This silent erosion, this gradual loss of self, is the true tragedy of our fragmented existence. And until we confront this unseen consequence, we remain trapped in the cycle. The urgent need is to break free, and the way to break free requires a radical shift. The rebellion begins with a radical shift in perspective, a conscious decision to dismantle the edifice of our constructed identity. It requires a willingness to confront the unsettling truth that the I we cling to is a fabrication, a collection of borrowed fragments. It demands a journey into the uncharted territories of our own consciousness, a descent into the silent depths of the mind. This is not a journey for the faint of heart. It requires courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to face the shadows that lurk within. It demands a rejection of the external validation we have come to crave, a turning away from the clamor of the world, and an embrace of the quiet solitude of self-reflection. Thales, in his profound wisdom, understood that true knowledge begins with self-knowledge. He recognized that the answers we seek are not to be found in the external world, but within the depths of our own being. He urged us to know thyself, to embark on a journey of inner exploration, to unravel the enigma of our own existence. This rebellion is not about rejecting the world, but about reclaiming our autonomy. It is about recognizing that we are not defined by our roles, our achievements, or our possessions. We are not defined by the opinions of others or the expectations of society. We are defined by our own intrinsic essence, by the unique spark of consciousness that resides within us. The first step is to cultivate awareness, to become conscious of the unconscious patterns that shape our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. We must learn to observe our own minds, to witness the constant stream of thoughts and emotions that arise and pass away. We must learn to detach from these thoughts and emotions, to recognize that they are not who we are. This requires a practice of mindfulness, a conscious effort to bring our attention to the present moment. We must learn to quiet the incessant chatter of the mind, to create space for silence and stillness. In this silence, in this stillness, we can begin to hear the whispers of our own true selves. We must also challenge our beliefs, to question the assumptions that underpin our perception of reality. We must dare to doubt the narratives we have constructed about ourselves and the world around us. We must be willing to entertain the possibility that our perceptions are distorted, our judgments clouded by unconscious biases. This requires a willingness to embrace uncertainty, to let go of the need for control and certainty. We must learn to trust our own intuition, to listen to the inner voice that guides us towards our true path. We must be willing to step into the unknown, to embrace the discomfort of self-discovery. Historically, those who broke free, the mystics and sages, the poets and philosophers, all embarked on this same journey of inner exploration. They dared to question the conventional wisdom, to challenge the prevailing paradigms, to seek truth beyond the limitations of the senses. They found their liberation in the silent depths of their own being. You too can find such liberation. Start by creating space for solitude. Even a few minutes of quiet contemplation each day can begin to shift your perspective. Practice observing your thoughts without judgment, noting their patterns and triggers. Write down your core beliefs and then question each one. Ask yourself, where did this belief come from? Is it truly my own? Engage in activities that quiet the mind, such as meditation, yoga, or simply spending time in nature. These practices can help you cultivate a sense of inner peace and stillness, allowing you to connect with your true self. Seek out mentors and guides who have walked this path before you. Read the works of philosophers and mystics. Listen to the wisdom of those who have dared to challenge the status quo. Their insights can provide guidance and inspiration on your own journey of self-discovery. Remember, this is not a destination, but a process. It is a lifelong journey of self-exploration, a continuous unfolding of our true potential. Embrace the challenges, learn from the setbacks, and celebrate the small victories along the way. Your freedom, your authentic self, awaits. And the final revelation, the ultimate truth, is closer than you think. The ultimate truth, the final and most powerful realization, is that the I you have been searching for, the elusive essence of your being, is not something to be found, but something to be remembered. It is not a separate entity, distinct from the universe, but an integral part of the cosmic whole, a ripple in the vast ocean of consciousness. You are not a fragmented self, a collection of borrowed identities, but a unified being, a singular expression of the infinite. The illusion of separation, the belief that you are distinct from the world around you, is the root of your suffering, the source of your anxiety and alienation. Thales, in his profound insight, understood this interconnectedness. He saw that all things are made of water, a symbol of the fluid, ever-changing nature of reality. He recognized that the universe is not a collection of separate objects, but a unified field of consciousness, a seamless web of interconnectedness. This realization is not merely an intellectual concept, but a visceral experience, a profound shift in perception that transforms your relationship with yourself and the world around you. You begin to see the interconnectedness of all things, the unity that underlies the apparent diversity. You recognize that you are not separate from the trees, the stars, the very air you breathe. You are a part of it all, an expression of the same cosmic energy that animates the universe. The I you have been searching for is not a static entity, but a dynamic process, a continuous unfolding of consciousness. It is not something to be defined, but something to be experienced, a living, breathing expression of the infinite. This realization frees you from the relentless pursuit of external validation. You no longer need the approval of others, the accolades of society, to validate your existence. You are intrinsically worthy, inherently valuable, simply by virtue of being. You begin to recognize that your true purpose is not to achieve external success, but to express your own unique essence, to contribute your own unique gift to the world. You are not here to conform, to fit into predefined molds, but to create, to innovate, to express your own authentic self. This realization transforms your relationships. You are no longer driven by fear and insecurity, but by love and compassion. You see the humanity in others, the shared essence that connects you all. You are able to connect with others on a deep, authentic level, to build relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. You begin to see the beauty and wonder in the world around you. You are no longer blinded by the illusions of the mind, the distortions of perception. You see the world with clarity and compassion, appreciating the interconnectedness of all things. This realization is not a destination, but a journey, a continuous unfolding of consciousness. It is a process of remembering who you truly are, of reconnecting with the infinite source of your being. It is a journey of self-discovery, a journey of liberation, a journey of love. And in that remembering, in that reconnection, you find your true power, your true purpose, your true self. The I Am is not a statement of separation, but a declaration of unity, a recognition of your interconnectedness with all that is. The journey has brought you to this point. Now, the final act is yours. To live this truth, to embody this understanding, to express this love in every moment of your existence, to remember always that you are not separate, but a vital, irreplaceable part of the grand tapestry of existence. And in that remembering, you find your true liberation, your true I am.